Jay there, and thank you for joining us today. Today, again, we have with us an art of living expert and an officer of the Vedic Dhamma Sansthan. Today, we are going to discuss how art of living courses and programs are for everyone, not just for students or homemakers or working professionals. Even the rich people who have a lot of responsibility and important decisions to make can also help with the art of living courses and programs. So, let's begin our discussion. So, why do we say that even to do seva or selfless service, one needs wealth and resources? Now, in today's world, good intentions alone are not enough to serve effectively, whether it is building a hospital, a school, or feeding the hungry. Resources are essential. Wealth is energy when earned ethically and used selflessly. It becomes a sacred instrument of seva. However, the key lies in keeping the heart pure while the bank balance grows. This is why His Holiness Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar often says, earn with skill, spend with joy, and serve with love. Without inner peace, wealth becomes a burden, but when combined with sadhana, seva, and satsang, it transforms into a means of upliftment. The spiritual path thus teaches us to balance abundance with awareness, prosperity with purpose. Now, yes, and why do so many rich people feel insecure and restless despite having everything? Because outer success cannot substitute for inner silence, many billionaires experience constant stress, sleeplessness, or emotional emptiness. Their minds are filled with noise of markets, deals, and deadlines. But peace comes only when the mind settles. The Vedas say, "Na dhanena, na prajya, na medhaya, tyage naike amratvam anasu." Not by wealth or intellect, but by letting go, one attains immortality. So, darshan, kriya, and meditation restore that balance. Once prana is harmonized, fear and insecurity disappear. We see this transformation daily. CEOs, doctors, and tycoons finding tears of relief after their first kriya. It's not renunciation they need, it's a reconnection. So, how does the Sudarshan Kriya specifically help the wealthy and high performing professionals? Yeah, the Sudarshan Kriya regulates breath rhythms that are directly linked to emotions. Wealthy individuals often live under immense pressure and emotional isolation. Through rhythmic breathing, the mind releases accumulated stress, anxiety, and fatigue. Neuropsychological and physiological studies from Harvard, Stanford, and NIMHANS show reduced cortisol levels, increased serotonin, and enhanced focus after Sudarshan Kriya. Business leaders report sharper decision making, better relationships, and a newfound sense of contentment. Wealth creation becomes joyful again, not compulsive. Many CEOs tell us they now work out of inspiration or desperation. This shift from striving to flowing is the essence of Kriya. Now, what role does meditation play in maintaining inner stability amidst wealth and power? Jagadev, meditation is like a daily spiritual detox. When wealth increases, so does responsibility and exposure to external energies. Meditation creates an energetic shield in Upanishadic terms. It connects the Jivatma with the Paramatma. A still mind can handle any turbulence. Many leaders today practice silent retreats at our ashrams and discover how decisions made in silence carry clarity and compassion. Meditation cleanses greed and restores gratitude. Without that silence, wealth leads to arrogance. With silence, wealth becomes service. How can art of living programs bridge ancient Vedic practices with the modern corporate life? Programs blend ancient pranayama, mantra, and meditation with modern psychology and neuroscience. Techniques like Padmasana and Trikalsandhya re-establish rhythm in body and mind, while Sudarshan Kriya harmonizes prana. Corporate leaders connect deeply with this because they experience tangible benefits, improved productivity, reduced stress, better relationships, and deeper purpose. Gurudev has made ancient wisdom accessible without dogma. A CEO or an entrepreneur can practice Gayatri Japa or Sandhya Vandanam and still attend board meetings. Fully centered spirituality is not withdrawal, it's alignment. That's what makes these programs transformative for modern wealth creators. Now, many wealthy donors now support Gurudev's schools and colleges. What motivates them? Yes, after experiencing inner peace through Kriya and meditation, they naturally wish to give back. It's not obligation, it's gratitude. They feel, I have received something priceless, peace, let me share this joy. As Guru Dakshina, they sponsor rural schools, Ayurveda hospitals, and skill development projects. For example, one American business tycoon funded an entire village education program in Bihar after attending a silence retreat. When the ego dissolves, compassion awakens. This is a true dharma, wealth becoming worship. The Sansthan guides them in performing the Agni Karyams, Yagyas, and Pujas for purification, ensuring their philanthropy remains sacred and sustainable. Now, what is the deeper meaning of Guru Dakshina in this context? The Guru Dakshina is not a fee, it's a gesture of gratitude. When someone experiences transformation, freedom from fear, anxiety, or loneliness, no currency can measure it. Offering support to spread this knowledge becomes their expression of love. In ancient Gurukul, students would offer cows or grains. Today, devotees contribute funds, land, or time. Wealth used in service multiplies manifold because it carries divine energy. Many industrialists have said, my business grew faster after I began giving. That's because Guru Dakshina aligns wealth with Dharma, turning money into merit. Now, how do practices like Sandhya Vandanam or Upanayanam connect with Sudarshan Kriya? These are complementary. Sandhya Vandanam aligns the practitioner with the cycles of nature, sunrise, noon, and sunset. After Sudarshan Kriya balances the inner breath cycles, Upanayanam initiates one into the Gayatri Mantra, the science of illumination. When modern practitioners add these to their daily routine, their nervous system becomes sattvic, their speech gains purity, and intuition sharpens, and wealth flows through the auspicious channels. Gurudev often says, our rituals without outer rituals without inner experience are empty. Inner experience without outer expression is incomplete. Both must go hand in hand. How does the Vedic Dhamma Sansthan support art of living initiatives globally? The Sansthan provides scriptural, ritualistic, and scholarly support to ensure all practices stay rooted in authentic Vedic tradition. We collaborate with Art of Living to conduct Agnihotras, Rudra Pujas, Vedic Parayanas, and priest training worldwide. Rich devotees who want to build temples, conduct homas, or revive lost traditions approach us for guidance. Together, we ensure that wealth supports dharma and dharma sustains prosperity. It's a perfect synthesis of spirituality and practicality, earth in service of dharma. Now, what message would you like to give to the world's richest individuals today? Jagadev, you have conquered markets, now conquer your mind. You have mastered economies, now master your breath. True freedom is not in the stock index, but in the inner stillness. Learn Sudarshan Kriya, meditate daily, and see how effortless joy returns. Use your wealth to bring education, healing, and skill to millions. The greatest legacy is not your company's valuation, but the smiles you leave behind. Gurudev says, make your life a celebration, not a competition. This is the real art of living. Now, what would happen if people like Elon Musk practice Sudarshan Kriya daily? Elon's mind works at lightning speed, a gift but also a strain. Sudarshan Kriya would synchronize his intense creative prana with stillness. His ideas would become more grounded, his restlessness calmer, and his intuition sharper. With meditation, innovation becomes effortless rather than obsessive. Gurudev often says, breath connects genius to grace. For a visionary like Elon, Kriya would deepen empathy and patience, helping him manage global projects without inner chaos. When such brilliance is balanced with silence, technology turns into spirituality in action. Now, how would the Larry Ellison benefit from the Vedic practices like Gayatri Japa or the Rudra Abhishekams? The Laris's empire runs on logic and precision, the very essence of jnana. The Rudra Abhishekams, the ancient Shiva worship channels set intellect into devotion, softening the ego. Gayatri Japa purifies speech and thought, invoking divine brilliance. If such leaders perform these rituals even symbolically, they open channels of sattva or purity within their boardrooms. They become visionaries guided by wisdom, not merely wealth. The Vedas declare jnana tapasa putam. The knowledge is sanctified by austerity. For modern innovators, that austerity is a meditation. Now, Mark Zuckerberg created a network connecting billions. So how would meditation influence him? Like Mark has connected the outer world, but meditation connects the inner one. His challenges balance. The constant noise of social media, daily kriya, and silent sitting would clear that energetic clutter, giving him depth and emotional richness. He could lead Meta from distraction to mindfulness, redesigning technology to support human attention rather than steal it. When such influencers meditate, digital ecosystems begin reflecting human consciousness. That is a true digital dharma. Now, Jeff Bezos has achieved unimaginable scale. What role can spirituality play in this in his evolution? There, the Bezos symbolizes the Artha Siddhi or mastery of material success, but Vedas say Arthasya Purusharthasya Sadhanam Dharma. Wealth fulfills purpose only when guided by Dharma. Agnihotra and Gayatri Japa purify the karmic field of wealth, ensuring it circulates as prosperity, not greed. If Bezos adopts pranayama and meditation, his decisions will naturally reflect global welfare. His philanthropy will acquire sacred power, well serving humanity, not ego. Now, what transformation would occur for Larry Page and Sergey Brin if they learned Sudarshan Kriya? The Google founders represent curiosity or Vichara Shakti. Their minds constantly seek knowledge, yet true knowledge lies in silence. Kriya would teach them that beyond the search engine lies the search within. The inner algorithm of breath reveals boundless intelligence. Once their prana aligns with calm awareness, their creativity will transcend code. They might even integrate mindful AI, technology that uplifts rather than overwhelms. Now, Bernard Arnault is the king of luxury. How can meditation refine his life? Yeah, the luxury without refinement is vanity. With awareness, it becomes art. Bernard Arnault, immersed in aesthetics, could experience the ultimate luxury, the peace. Through Agni Karyams and the Devi Pujas, he would sense beauty as divine energy. Meditation would awaken the Saundarya Lahari, the wave of inner beauty. His creations would carry vibrations of calm elegance, not restless desire. Spiritual luxury is simplicity with grace. Now, Jensen Huang of NVIDIA thrives on high innovation pressures. How can the Kriya help? The Jensen's brain operates like a GPU, multitasking constantly, but excessive processing overheats the system. Sudarshan Kriya is like an inner cooling fan, balancing the nervous energy. It boosts clarity, intuition, and energy without burnout. After a few weeks, he would find decisions arising spontaneously without mental fatigue. That's the gift of rhythmic breathing, innovation without exhaustion. Now, how would Steve Ballmer benefit from Sanskrit chanting or meditation? Jagodev Steve's personality is fiery and passionate. Vedic chanting in the Samaveda style calms the Agni Tattva or the fire element. Gayatri Japa would regulate his prana and voice, bringing grounded enthusiasm. Such practices channel intensity into inspiration. When performed with bhakti, even corporate meetings become yajna, spaces of sacred collaboration. Now, what inner challenge and change would Michael Dell experience through Padma Sadhana? The Padma Sadhana restores body mind symmetry through yoga and breath. Michael Dell, a systems thinker, would discover that his true operating system is consciousness itself. Padma Sadhana integrates movement, focus, and surrender, helping him make decisions with intuition rather than only analysis. It turns business leaders into a meditative act. Now, Warren Buffet is known for discipline. What would Sudarshan Kriya add? The buffet has mastered the art of patience. Kriya would bring the prasannata, the unshakable inner joy. When breath deepens, compassion expands. Philanthropy would gain spiritual radiance. Meditation refines not just thought but the intent, transforming charity into yajna. Vedic wisdom calls it the dana tattva, giving without expectation with the awareness of oneself. How can American or Amancio Ortega of Zara integrate art of living principles in his fashion empire? There, the fashion reflects outer beauty, spirituality reveals inner beauty. Through meditation and Kriya, Ortega can inspire eco consciousness, ethical fashion, aligned with sattvic principles of simplicity, purity, and balance. As silence grows, creativity flows through compassion, style becomes seva. Now, how can the Walton family use their wealth to serve Dharma? Through homas and charitable education initiatives, the Waltons can support Gurukuls, Ayurveda hospitals, and women's empowerment projects. Performing Mahalakshmi Homa invokes abundance not just for money, but of virtue. When wealth sustains knowledge, it becomes sacred. Such acts fulfill the true purpose of Artha Purushartha. Now, what would Mukesh Ambani gain from combining the Kriya with the Vedic rituals? The Mukeshji already honors Dharma through temples and charities. With Kriya and meditation, he can experience even deeper inner strength and stillness. As prana aligns, intuition sharpens, guiding business from a space of calm clarity. Performing Agnihoma simplifies and amplifies sattva in family and organization, ensuring generational harmony. India's dharma and modern leadership merge through such synthesis. Now, Carlos Slim represents Latin America's wealth. How can Indian spirituality help him? The spirituality has no geography. Breath and silence are universal. Through Kriya, Carlos Slim would connect with his deeper humanity beyond nationality and status. Vedic homas like Navgraha homas and the Rudra homas bring balance to planetary energies, ensuring peace, prosperity, and longevity. Ancient India offers tools for timeless equilibrium in business and life. Now, Francois patent code Mayers is a guardian of beauty and art. What would meditation reveal to her? The Gayatri Mantra describes light as the source of all beauty. When Francois meditates, she would perceive beauty as divine vibration, not external glamour. Through Kriya, compassion blossoms. She may support projects promoting women's education and spiritual well being, inner beauty reflected as outer grace. Now, Gautama Adani has faced both triumphs and trials. How can spirituality stabilize him? Through meditation, the pendulum of gain and loss becomes steady. Kriya removes the karmic heaviness and builds equanimity. The Agni Karams and the Gayatri Japa invoke divine protection or the Raksha Kavach. Adani can turn every challenge into introspection, every success into gratitude. That's the dharmic way to handle destiny. Now, how can the Sudarshan Kriya help a billionaires handle decision fatigue and emotional burnout? Jagdev, at that altitude of responsibility, choices never end. The mergers, the markets, the geopolitics, each decision drains prana, the subtle life force. Sudarshan Kriya replenishes that energy by restoring rhythmic coherence between body and mind. Scientific studies show that after a few weeks, practitioners experience higher alpha wave activity and sharper cognitive clarity. Executives report fewer impulsive decisions and more intuitive insight. Kriya converts reaction into response. It replaces worry with witnessing. For billionaires constantly living in the fight or flight zone, this is a biological reset. When breath stabilizes, priorities reorder themselves naturally. People first, profit next, purpose always. In that calm space, leadership becomes compassionate and long term. Now, what do ancient Vedas say about the right use of wealth? Neither the Rigveda calls the wealth the Shri, a divine radiance to be shared. It was he who hoards gold and eats alone that gold becomes fire. Proper wealth is earned through dharma and offered back as yajna. When tycoons sponsor education, health, and environment, their karma becomes luminous. He guides donors to perform the Mahalakshmi Homa and the Annadana before major ventures. These purify intents of profit benefits. Many true prosperity, say the sages, is not ownership but circulation. When money moves through service, it returns multiplied as joy, stability, and protection. Thus, the Vedic path sanctifies economics into ethics. Now, can meditation improve creativity and innovation in technology leaders? Absolutely. Creativity flowers in silence, not stress. When the mind quiets, the prefrontal cortex lights up, connecting logic with intuition. Many inventors have found breakthrough ideas after Kriya sessions because awareness expands beyond linear thought. Meditation also dissolves the fear of failure, freeing the intellect to experiment. Gurudev often says innovation is the play of an unburdened mind. For engineers, coders, and designers, meditation is like defragmenting the mental hard drive. Out of stillness arises novelty. From inner order springs outer invention. Now, what role do humas and pujas play for entrepreneurs running global corporations? Homas are not superstition, they are energy engineering. Fire is the first transformer. It converts offering into subtle vibration. The Agni carries the intention into the cosmos. When the leaders perform the Rudra Abhishek or the Navgraha Homa, the environment becomes sattvic, obstacles dissolve unseen, the sound waves of mantras harmonize planetary and psychological fields, protecting ventures from negativity. We have seen factories where regular Agnihotra reduce conflict and accidents. Spiritual chemistry works quietly but precisely. In business terms, it's a preventive maintenance for destiny. Now, how can meditation bridge cultural and religious divides among wealthy global citizens? Because breath has no nationality. When people sit together and breathe rhythmically, all ideologies fade. So Darshan Kriya creates a shared field of peace beyond belief systems. Many international conferences hosted by Art of Living end with participants from 70 nations hugging in tears. Wealthy leaders become ambassadors of unity, realizing that human consciousness is one continuum. This realization births compassionate capitalism, trade with trust, competition with cooperation, and meditation becomes the modern diplomacy. Now, is there a karmic dimension to wealth and giving? Yes, every fortune is the fruition of past generosity. The Mahabharata says, Dana multiplies, greed diminishes. If one gives without purity, karma binds. If one gives with devotion, the karma liberates. Before large donations, we advise a brief Shanti part and Gayatri Homa so that the act becomes sacred. Then wealth works as an instrument of evolution, not ego. The karmic finance is subtle but sure. When motive purifies, the results magnify. Now, how does the Sudarshan Kriya impact physical health for busy executives? The medical research from Ames and Harvard documents a lowered blood pressure, normalized cortisol, improved immunity, and better sleep among Kriya practitioners. The rhythmic breathing flushes out accumulated toxins, oxygenates tissues, and balances the vagus nerve, the switch between stress and relaxation. Executives who are dependent on caffeine and pills often report natural energy and deeper rest. The body becomes an ally, not an obstacle in leadership. Health is the foundation of service. Kriya restores it. Now, can Vedic chanting be practiced by non Indians or those from secular backgrounds? Yes, mantra is a sound science, not sectarian ritual. When pronounced correctly, Sanskrit syllables generate measurable resonance that calms the nervous system. Chanting Om Namah Shivaya or Gayatri harmonizes breath with brain waves. We teach the phonetics and meanings so participants feel inclusion, not conversion. The vibration belongs to humanity. Many Western students experience profound peace simply by reciting with sincerity. Now, what transformation have you observed in wealthy individuals after adopting these practices? Jagadev, initially they come seeking stress relief. Soon they discover joy independent of success. The ego softens, the gratitude grows, their families heal, and the relationships deepen. Philanthropy expands. One hedge fund owner told me, earlier I invested in companies, now I invest in consciousness. They become role models of balanced living, ambitious yet anchored. That silent radiance is priceless. Now, how do the Vedic homas contribute to planetary and environmental healing? Now, the fire ceremonies emit antiseptic smoke and sonic frequencies that purify air and soil microflora. More importantly, they align human intent with ecological harmony. During the Vishwa Shanti Yagyas organized with Art of Living, scientists recorded reduced particulate matter and elevated atmospheric negativity potential, indicating cleaner air. Spiritually, each mantra honors elements the earth, the water, fire, air, and space, restoring respect for nature. When billionaires sponsor large areas, they offer karmic pollution created by industrial expansion. Now, why is gratitude essential for those at the top of the economic pyramid? Jagdeep, because gratitude converts possession into fulfillment. Without it, success feels hollow. Daily meditation cultivates awareness of how much support one receives from employees, society, and the unseen cosmos. Gratitude softens dominance into stewardship. Leaders who begin meetings with a minute of silence and thanks notice teams become cooperative, not competitive. Gratitude is the fragrance of abundance. Now, how can the Sudarshan Kriya prepare the next generation of inheritors of wealth? Youth born into privilege often struggle with identity and pressure. Kriya anchors them in inner strength before they handle outer power. It instills humility, clarity, and compassion. Qualities the Vedas call the Rajarishi Lakshana, the traits of a wise ruler. Along with Kriya, we initiate them into simple daily Sandhya Vandanams. So discipline blends with devotion. Thus, inheritance turns into responsibility, not entitlement. Now, can meditation coexist with intense corporate ambition? Yes, ambition need not be intention. Meditation converts drive into direction. When desire is purified by awareness, it serves collective growth. After Kriya, executives often say, I still aim high, but the anxiety is gone. This is the secret of effortless achievement. Nishkam karma in modern form can run multinational empires and still remain inwardly free. So, what is the significance of performing the Agni Karyas or the Yagyas before launching ventures? The fire symbolizes transformation. Beginning a project with the Agni Karyam invites divine witness and neutralizes the unseen doshas. It consecrates an intention. So, the enterprise serves dharma, not exploitation. Many industrial houses now conduct brief yagyas before inaugurations, invoking harmony among stakeholders and nature. When a profit arises from sanctity, it sustains longer. How do these spiritual disciplines influence global peace? Now, the peace in the world mirrors peace in minds. When influential people calm their inner storms, collective consciousness rises. Art of Living programs for leaders ripple outward. One centered CEO influences thousands of families. When coupled with Vedic prayers for harmony, the effect multiplies. Spiritual evolution of the few uplifts the many. How can the richest families institutionalize spirituality in their foundations? By allocating a small fraction of endowments to spiritual education, funding meditation centers, Vedic universities, and ecological yagyas. We assist in designing ethical investment charters rooted in Dharma. When a trust vibrates with sacred intent, even material projects succeed effortlessly. Now, do Sudarshan Kriya and pujas require belief in any religion? No, they require only sincerity. Breath belongs to biology, not ideology. The practices are experiential, results speak louder than belief. Many atheists and scientists practice Kriya purely for mental hygiene and later discover a spontaneous reverence for life. Spirituality begins where the dogma ends. Now, what is the psychological science behind chanting mantras? Chanting regulates respiration and heart rhythm, synchronizing both brain hemispheres. Repetition includes the alpha states, reducing anxiety. MRI studies show enhanced activity in areas covering empathy and focus. From Vedic view, mantra is vibration that reorganizes subtle matter. The psychology and spirituality converge, sound heals psyche. Now, how can these practices transform corporate culture? Jagada, when CEOs meditate, the organization breathes with them. Meetings start on time, ego shrink, creativity expands. We have seen companies adopting weekly Kriya sessions and seeing drops in attrition and conflict. Compassion becomes policy, not poster. Productivity follows peace. Now, why is the inner silence considered the highest luxury? Jagata, because everything else depends on it. Palaces cannot buy stillness, only awareness can. In silence, one tastes the ananda, the self sufficient joy. For the ultra rich, constantly surrounded by noise, the 5 minutes of deep meditation is rarer than diamonds. Silence is the crown jewel of success. Now, how can the philanthropy become a spiritual discipline? Jagata, when giving is accompanied by prayer and awareness, it cleanses the giver as much as it helps the receiver. We advise donors to meditate before signing checks to align intention with compassion. Then charity becomes seva, the selfless service, dissolving ego and increasing fulfillment. Now, what is the role of Guru in guiding such powerful individuals? Yeah, the Guru is the compass of consciousness for those surrounded by advisors. Only a realized master can offer truth beyond flattery. The Guru reflects the soul's potential, reminding that leadership without humility is hollow. Under guidance, even billionaires learn to bow to life itself. Now, what global impact could arise if the world's top 20 billionaires adopted these practices? Imagine 20 of the planet's most influential minds breathing in harmony. Daily ego would give way to empathy. Their industries could turn carbon neutral. Their foundations could erase poverty. Their diplomacy could end wars. 1 hour of collective meditation from them could shift humanity's emotional climate. Wealth aligned with wisdom can heal the world. So, what final message would you give to every seeker of success? They will seek wealth, but let it serve wisdom. Earn with excellence, share with compassion, live with awareness, perform your kriya, meditate, offer gratitude. Let every transaction be a yajna and every breath a prayer. Then abundance will follow like a shadow, and peace will remain your true possession. That is the eternal art of living in accordance with the Vedic Dharma. Jai Gurudev. Jai Gurudev. In today's world, even seva requires wealth and infrastructure. Why do you emphasize inner peace for billionaires? Neither that's true. Money builds hospitals, schools, and social projects, but peace builds purpose. Without peace, wealth becomes anxiety. With peace, it becomes service. We see these daily rich people seeking silence after success. Sudarshan Kriya aligns breath and mind, transforming ambition into awareness. Once the nervous system calms, decision making becomes intuitive and compassionate. A peaceful billionaire can change the world faster than a restless one. Now, how would practices like Sudarshan Kriya and Padma Sadhana benefit Elon Musk? Elon's mind operates like a rocket, fast, powerful, and often turbulent. Through Kriya, his scattered energy would synchronize into harmony. Meditation helps him move from overthinking to deep knowing. His innovation could then integrate sensitivity, developing technologies that serve humanity, not stress it. Vedic homas would bring grounding. The Agni or the fire balances the air element that dominates his personality. Imagine SpaceX powered by both fuel and faith, outer exploration guided by inner stillness. Now, Larry Ellison is known for intellect and power. How can the Vedic discipline define that? Yet the Gayatri Mantra purifies intellect, the Rudra Abhisheka purifies the ego. For Larry, performing such rituals would invoke humility alongside success. Oracle was built on logic, but now he can build legacies on light. Gayatri Japa channels cosmic intelligence, while Agnihotra Homas balance the 5 elements. Within the home and office, it is said in the Yajurveda, Jnanena Shuddha Karmani Bhavanti. Through knowledge, actions become pure for such leaders. Spiritual discipline converts intelligence into illumination. Now, Mark Zuckerberg connected billions to social media. How and what can meditation do for him personally? He connected people outwardly, but now needs to connect inwardly. Social media thrives on reaction. Meditation cultivates reflection. With daily Sudarshan Kriya, Mark would find emotional depth beyond algorithms. He could turn meta into a space for mindfulness, compassion, and genuine connection. Silence would teach him what screens cannot. That human value lies beyond validation, from likes to light. That's the real evolution of meta. Now, Jeff Bezos built one of the world's most powerful ecosystems. What can Sudarshan Kriya add to his life? The Bezos mastered logistics of the outer world. Kriya reveals logistics of the inner world. His stress from perpetual growth would dissolve in rhythmic breathing. The breath carries subtle pranic energy that enhances focus and compassion. He could become a global advocate for mindful capitalism, balancing productivity with presence. With meditation, philanthropy stops being an obligation and becomes a joy. He will see that the true prime delivery is peace delivered to the soul. Now, Google searches the world's data. How can Larry Page help meditation and the founder? Yeah, the Larry represents the jigyasa, the thirst for knowledge. Sudarshan Kriya would reveal knowledge beyond data, the knowledge of consciousness. Meditation expands awareness. It's the real search engine of the soul. When he sits in silence, he would realize that wisdom isn't stored in servers, but in stillness. His leadership would then radiate empathy and balance, creating not just intelligent technology, but conscious technology. Sergi's creativity changed information forever. How would Vedic practices refine that genius? The innovation thrives on purity of mind by performing the Agni Kadams and the chantings of the Rudrams. Sergi could channel his brilliance to Sattva, the energy of clarity. The Gayatri Japa enhances intuitive intelligence, while meditation cultivates silence that precedes discovery. In Vedic tradition, the knowledge or Vijnana is considered sacred fire. When innovators perform homas, their fire becomes purifying, not consuming. Sergius' next innovation could merge AI with awakened awareness. Now, Bernard Arnold for LVMH. Bernard Arnold's builds luxury. Can meditation fit into his world of extravagance? If the true luxury is inner contentment, Bernard curates beauty externally, meditation cultivates beauty internally. Sudarshan Kriya reduces anxiety, refines perception, and brings aesthetic serenity to Devi Puja and the Agni Homa. He would experience the Saundarya Lahari, the divine wave of beauty. His luxury brands could then embody sustainability and spiritual elegance. Imagine luxury that nourishes the soul, not the ego. That's the next evolution of grace. Now, Jensen Huang of NVIDIA lives in an intense world of semiconductors and AI. How can spirituality sustain him? Jagdev, his brain is a superprocessor constantly firing. Sudarshan Kriya is like a neural reset, clearing tension, increasing oxygen, and sharpening intuition. Meditation prevents burnout and sustains creativity and longevity. Vedic rituals like Navagraha Homa balance planetary energies, influencing leadership. When breath, body, and cosmos align, work becomes worship. Jensen could lead AI development with compassion driven intelligence, the Manas Karma Yoga in modern form. Now, Steve Ballmer of Microsoft. Steve Ballmer is known for energy and passion. How would chanting and yoga help him? Negative is a fire element of the Agni Tattva. Is strong chanting Samaveda hymns regulates fire and channels enthusiasm constructively. Shakti Kriya opens heart centered awareness, transforming assertiveness into inspiration. Steve's presence could then radiate calm dynamism. Vedic wisdom teaches that true power is serenity in action through daily rituals and meditation. His leadership energy would flow like sacred fire, brilliant yet peaceful. Now, Michael Dell of Dell Technologies, what would happen if Michael Dell practiced Padma Sadhana and Trikal Sandhya? Padma Sadhana integrates yoga, devotion, and breath, perfect for an analytical mind like this. The Trikal Sandhya of morning, noon, and evening meditation keeps awareness steady through the business day. When Dell aligns his routine with pranic rhythm, productivity multiplies but stress vanishes. He would lead through clarity, not control. Vedic energy practices restore balance, transforming corporate environments into temples of creativity. Now, Warren Buffett of Berkshire Hathaway. Warren Buffett is known for wisdom. How can Kriya deepen that wisdom? Now, this life represents the earth dharma, the responsible wealth. The Kriya refines intellect into insight. When the breath deepens, the awareness expands and decisions align with dharma. By supporting Vedic education and Ayurveda hospitals as Guru Dakshina, Buffet's wealth can sustain timeless wisdom. Vedas say Danam Tapasa Suddhayati. Giving purifies both giver and receiver. His investment in human consciousness would yield the highest return. Now, the Amancio Ortega of Zara. Amancio built fast fashion. How would meditation change his vision? Through meditation, fashion can shift from consumption to consciousness. Breathwork awakens mindfulness. Beauty becomes sustainable. Kriya transforms desire into discipline. He could promote sattvic design, comfort, balance, and ecology. Spiritual awareness would make Sara a symbol of simplicity with grace. As Gurudev says, elegance is the expression of inner silence. Now, Rob Walton and family of Walmart, how can such a business families integrate spirituality into their legacy? Gurudev, by performing the Mahalakshmi Homa and the Gayatri Japa or the Gayatri Homas, they can consecrate their wealth. When they fund education, Ayurveda and Dharma centers, their charity becomes yagya, a sacred offering. Sudarshan Kriya for all family members brings harmony and emotional bonding. The Vedas teach samsara sagaram tarayati dharma. Righteous action carries us across the ocean of life. When business families aligns with dharma, it becomes a divine heritage. Now, Jim Walton of Walmart, Jim Walton represents generational leadership. What can Vedic guidance offer him? The Vedic rituals like the Pitru Tarpanam honor ancestors and clear karmic debts. For business families, this practice ensures continuity with blessings. Meditation brings humility amidst power. The Agni Kadams purify intentions behind wealth, ensuring that abundance flows ethically. Jim can nurture future leaders rooted in values, not only profits. Now, Alice Walton of Walmart family. Alice Walton is known for her patronage of art and philanthropy. How can Sudarshan Kriya and Gayatri Chapa deepen her contribution to humanity? Alice embodies generosity, yet every philanthropist needs a replenishment. Sudarshan Kriya balances the nervous system and opens the heart chakra, making giving effortless and joyful. When she practices Kriya, her compassion becomes grounded, not draining. Gayatri Japa would further refine her perception, awakening intuitive clarity and divine inspiration. Through this alignment, her art patronage could turn into sattvic art promotion, fostering beauty that uplifts the consciousness. Vedic pujas like the Mahalakshmi Homa can consecrate her philanthropic institutions, ensuring wealth is continuously purified and renewed. In ancient India, queens performed yagyas to sustain abundance for generations. Alice could be that modern embodiment. When spiritual energy flows through philanthropy, even a hospital or museum becomes a temple of healing and harmony. Now, the Mukesh Ambani and Reliance Industries, the Ambani has immense power and responsibility. How can artificial and Vedic principles guide such leadership? Jagadev Mukesh ji is already a student of dharmic living, family, tradition, and enterprise. So Sudarshan Kriya, his prana or the life force would stay steady amidst immense decision pressure. A meditation before meetings brings clarity and removes ego-driven anxiety. By performing the Agni Karams, the Rudra Abhishekams, and the Gayatri Japas, he connects corporate power with cosmic purpose. As Vedas say, Yogenu karmasu kaushalam yoga, karmasu kaushalam skill in action is yoga. Reliance can integrate the Seva Yoga, funding schools, Ayurveda centers, and Vedic universities. Kriya makes leadership compassionate, pujas make it sanctified. His life can become a living yagya where energy, wealth, and wisdom flow for collective upliftment. Now, Carlos Slim Helu of Mexico. Carlos Slim symbolizes wealth and endurance. How can Indian spiritual practices bring balance to such global icons? The beauty of Sudarshan Kriya is its universality. Breath knows no nationality. Carlos Slim's success rests on structure and stability, yet meditation teaches flexible stability, strength with softness. His long working hours could find rejuvenation through breath cycles and silence. Gayatri Japa opens intuitive intelligence, while the Navgrahama harmonizes cosmic influences that affect leadership destiny. When the breath is rhythmic, mind becomes luminous. If he adopts Kriya and meditation, he would become an ambassador of East West spiritual synthesis, showing how ancient India's wisdom can sustain modern spiritual empire building. His philanthropic ventures could fund youth consciousness programs, integrating prosperity with wealth. Now, Francoise Bettencourt Meyers, L'Oreal of France, as the world's richest woman, what can meditation and homas, especially the Gayatri homas, bring to Francoise Bettencourt Meyers? Jagadev, Francoise Bettencourt Meyers represents Saundarya Shakti, the energy of beauty. Through Devi Pujas and the Lalita Sahasranama Parayanas, she can access inner beauty, the radiance of peace. Sudarshan Kriya cleanses emotional layers, revealing the natural grace. The Gayatri Mantra aligns intellect with divine luminosity, ensuring her creativity stays inspired, not pressured. Performing the Mahalakshmi Home and Durga Saptasati Parayana sanctifies her wealth, invoking harmony and health in her empire. As Vedic wisdom says, the Saundaryam Suddha Chittasya Pratibimbam. Beauty is the reflection of a pure mind. When such purity expands, luxury becomes a divine offering, and cosmetics transform into consciousness care. Now, the Gautam Adani of Infrastructure India. Gautam Adani has seen immense highs and lows. How can meditation help him remain steady amidst change? Jagadev Adani Jesus' life mirrors the Bhagavad Gita's teaching. Success and loss are both transient. Sudarshan Kriya restores balance between ambition and acceptance. Breathwork clears the mind of anxiety and awakens the surrender. The Trikals and the Agni Homas bring sattva or clarity to one's home and enterprise. By performing the Gayatri Japa, he aligns with the cosmic order, ensuring dharmic guidance in crucial business moments. When he sees business as seva and breath as connection to divinity, resilience blossoms. The storms of the marketplace no longer shake the peace within. Now, Steve Jobs, the posthumous reflection. If Steve Jobs were alive today, How would he resonate with art of living and Vedic philosophy? The Steve's journey already reflected the Eastern wisdom of Zen meditation and simplicity. Sudarshan Kriya would have given him structured bliss, while the Gayatri mantra or the Gayatri Homas could have refined his intuitive creativity further. Through the Vedic Homas, his genius might have evolved into spiritual innovation, merging technology and transcendence. Jobs once said, "Stay hungry, stay foolish." Vedic insight would complete that as "Stay humble, stay aware." If he had lived longer, he would have naturally gravitated toward Indian Dharma, realizing that silence is the most powerful design. Now, why do so many wealthy individuals still feel insecure despite success? Because the mind seeks permanence in impermanent things. Money can buy pleasure, not peace. Sudarshan Kriya corrects this inner restlessness by reconnecting people to their natural rhythm. The nervous system resets, awareness expands, and Vedic rituals act as external cleansers. Kriya as the internal purifier. Together, they create contentment. The only real security, peace, is not post success luxury, it's the foundation for sustainable wealth. Now, many of these leaders wish to give back. How does the concept of Guru Dakshina apply today? Yeah, the Guru Dakshina is not payment, it is participation in perpetuating wisdom. When billionaires fund schools, hospitals, and skill centers inspired by Dharma, that's modern Guru Dakshina. They continue the lineage of light. His Holiness Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar Ji often says, when gratitude becomes action, it is Dakshina. The Vedic Dhamma Sansthan helps channel this gratitude into constructive projects, blending seva with sustainability. Now, how can the Sudarshan Kriya help business magnates reduce high level stress? The rhythm of breath influences the rhythm of thought. Kriya alternates slow and rapid breathing cycles, flushing toxins, balancing hormones, and calming the vagus nerve. Within weeks, the sleep deepens, focus improves, and emotional reactivity vanishes. Billionaires often struggle with sleep deprivation and decision fatigue. Kriya restores both psychological and physiological rest and emotional renewal. When mind and breath align, creativity flows without chaos. Now, from a Vedic lens, what is wealth truly? The wealth of the Lakshmi is divine energy. When used selflessly, it multiplies. When hoarded, it stagnates. Performing the Mahalakshmi Homa invites continuous flow, while charity opens karmic channels. As per the Rig Veda, Danam Bhavati Prajapati Rupam. Giving is divine creation itself. Billionaires must realize energy and the money is sacred trust, not possession. Conscious use of wealth becomes a yagya, sacred sharing that sustains society. Now, how does meditation affect leadership quality? Negative meditation heightens perception and intuition. Leaders who meditate make faster yet wiser decisions. Their presence alone inspires harmony. The Art of Living has trained global CEOs, bankers, and scientists. They report that TRIA enhances focus by 300% while reducing anxiety. Awareness transforms reaction into response, competition into collaboration. The world doesn't need more managers, it needs more meditative leaders. Now, how can billionaires ensure the next generation remains grounded? Gurudev, through sanskara, spiritual impressions, children should learn the Sandhya Vandanams, the Gayatri Japas, and the basic meditation early, especially the Sahat Samadhi meditation. Family yagyas bring gratitude and unity. Wealth should be inherited with values, not entitlement. The Ambani, Walton, or Arnold families can establish conscious legacy academies, teaching business with mindfulness. Vedic Dharma ensures not only succession but sanctity. Jayadar, so can silence improve creativity for innovators like Musk or Page? Jayadar, absolutely, silence is the source of sound, a womb of creation. When the mind settles into it, but the Sudarshan Kriya is dynamic silence, breath leads to stillness, stillness to brilliance. Gurudev says creativity blooms when chaos rests. Innovators in meditation often describe breakthroughs happening spontaneously. Silence turns stress into serendipity. Now, how can these billionaires contribute to world peace beyond charity? They either by embodying peace first, when they practice Kriya, their vibration uplifts thousands, hosting the Maharudra Yagyas, the Vasudeva Kutumbakam summits, or global meditation days can spread collective calm. Peace is not passive, it is a contagious frequency. When the wealthy live mindfully, they set the world's rhythm right. Now, what is the ultimate message for the richest 20? Neither wealth is divine when used consciously. Through Sudarshan Kriya, meditation, Gayatri Japa, and Yagyas, they can harmonize inner and outer abundance. Success without peace is slavery. Peace with success is mastery. Gurudev's vision is simple: a stress-free mind, a violence-free society, and a divine life for all. If the world's richest meditate, their vibration alone could heal economies and heart. Jayadev.